Welcome back to Gastronomic. Today I'm going to show you how to cut a butternut squash. Squash can be a little bit dangerous to cut due to its denseness and size. I'm going to start by putting on gloves and then peeling the squash. I wear gloves while peeling squash because sometimes my hands dry out. Not so much with butternut squash, but chayote squash, I'll have a reaction for days. A good tip for peeling any vegetable is to lay down a paper towel and then peel the vegetable onto the paper towel. That way it's super easy to clean up. Next, go ahead and lob off the top and the bottom of the squash. This will give us a good sturdy base to hold the squash on our cutting board. Next, we're going to cut the squash right in half to reveal the seeds. Be sure to be careful during this step. You're holding a big knife with a big vegetable. Look at those seeds. To remove the seeds out of the cavity, you could just take a spoon and scrape them out like you do a pumpkin. But for these, I'm just going to cut around the seeds with my knife. The first knife cut we're going to do on this squash is going to be a simple large dice. This is perfect for squash soup or any kind of puree. Notice how I'm keeping my fingers tucked back and then running the knife up and down my middle finger to complete the cuts. For our next cut, we're going to utilize one of our flat sides to hold the squash steady. Slice all the way down, making thin, square strips. Once these square or rectangle strips are made, I'm going to go ahead and square them off by taking off the wavy edges. This will just make it easier to make a nice uniform small dice. Go ahead and cut it almost like a large julienne. And then what we'll do is we'll turn it 90 degrees and complete the small dice. This is perfect for any kind of sauteed squash. Maybe include it in a soup or a gnocchi dish. Remember to keep those fingers tucked back. Squash is a very hard, dense vegetable. Well, how do they look? Thanks for watching this week's episode of Gastronomic. I hope you learned a little bit about how to cut a squash. I'm going to go ahead and make squash soup. See you on the next one.